Do you use a ladder? Got no idea how to check it? In this video we're going to go through the simple steps how to do a pre-use ladder check, and it's a quick check as well. No bureaucracy, blah 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 blah. Let's get into the video. Okay, so how to check a ladder. Who needs to check it and when do you need to check it? Let's cover that first. Well, who needs to check it? That's either the person who's going to use it, and when do they check it? At the beginning of the day, and when anything really changes, so maybe the ladder falls over, or maybe you go from a dirty area to a clean area, for example. So when you get some kind of change in the process of how you're doing it, how you're setting something up, you've just cleaned it, for example, you're going to have a once-over check of the ladder. There's two main types of ladders. We've got step ladders, like this, a very cheap, small version. You've got the steps and the platform, and then you've got your typical big cloth ladder. So we're going to have a look at the feet. We're going to have a look to make sure that if you've got plastic bits on the end, you know, they're in a good condition. They're not missing any bits. They're on. They're not moving. You know, you imagine if this stuff was moving and you're standing on top of it. Excuse my dog sniffing the mic. They're in place. They're working. They're in a good condition. You want to have these kind of feet on there, not. See if I can take this out. No, I can't. Not just like the metal bit. So if the feet's missing, you don't want that. Obviously, all the feet are there. The stills, these parts here, you're basically just looking for them to be in a good condition. You're trying to avoid things like dents or cuts even, or anything like that. The more these start to get damaged, obviously the weaker they get. These are the things that are holding it upright, so have a think about that, and just remember you're being held up by this. So you're looking for dents, you're looking for cuts, you're looking for anything really, any kind of damage in it that could compromise the strength of the ladder. And the same is for the rungs as well. These are where you're going to put your feet, and you're just looking for, you know, does this fit quite well? See, it's not moving, it looks okay. Any missing rungs, they'll be pretty obvious as well, but you don't want to have them. You know, if you think about like the old wooden ladders, ideally we want to be moving away from them now, but you want to see if they're in a good condition. Give them a wriggle, see if they're on there, they're fitting quite well. Any holes, any dents, any cuts, anything like that. Now some ladders are going to have like a locking mechanism, so a step ladder is probably not going to have much of a locking mechanism. I don't know if you can see, but this has just got the loop that fits onto that bar there. It's not really a locking mechanism, but you're just going to check that it kind of works. It looks like it's in a good condition. Again, no dents, no holes, no cuts, no anything like that. This bit here is called the work platform on a step ladder, and it's not really got a locking mechanism, it's just got a kind of catch, is a better way to say it. So that's really what we're looking for. So for the bigger ladders with the locking mechanism, if I was to open this ladder up like so, you can see here we've got a locking mechanism. If you want to pull that down, that locks in. We want to check that that works, that it looks okay, there's no dents there. So we can lock the two. Feels locked. Cool. Happy with that. And then one other thing with these kind of ladders that go into different positions, I would just put it up. I can't do it the whole way, but I would just check that that kind of feels okay as well. That hook there, if you can see it, feels and looks okay. I'm done. So obviously when you're on your business, you're in a day-to-day, I'm not saying that this should be some kind of bureaucratic, you know, checklist. It's more to a point of being mindful of your ladder. You know, it's much easier if it's your ladder and you use that yourself, it's on your van, whatever, but it's just kind of looking after it. This is the thing that's holding you up whilst you work. So just be mindful of the ladder. Not saying you need a massive checklist. You know, let's put this into context. We're all very busy. We're working under immense pressure, most of us. So I'll kind of do a check now just to kind of show what I would expect to see, and then we'll talk about why we have checklists in a second. So we'll do a step ladder one to show you how quick it can be, and we'll do one now. Look at the stills, no damage on the stills. Do the other side. There's no damage on there, no holes, nothing like that. Feet, they all look okay. Platform looks okay on the inside. On the top looks okay, fits in alright. Check these rungs. Done. So I said I'd talk about why we have checklists. 9 times out of 10 you're going to be audited by your accredited body or your health and safety person or something like that, and they want to see evidence of this stuff. That's kind of the culture we're in the UK at the moment, as to how we follow things through and how we kind of evidence stuff. We want to see a checklist every day. I would much rather go around a business and see 100 ladders all in a very good condition, and everyone's like, oh, that's my ladder, that's Bob's ladder, so Bob don't touch mine, Bob has his, and they're all in good condition. For me, that would be evidence. I might go up to Bob and say, hey Bob, can you quickly show me how to check a ladder? Bob's like, yeah, sure, boom, boom, boom. Does exactly what I've just done, I'm happy. For me, that's evidence, and that's, I think, how we should be auditing. But that's probably why you've got these checklists, and that's why we're kind of in a bit of a bad culture around bureaucracy and paperwork, in my professional and personal opinion. You might have checklists or kind of a tag on the ladder for a reason that it's a shared ladder. So for an example, you've got one ladder providing the warehouse or one ladder providing an engineering team. I would come in the morning and check that ladder. You then might have a tag on the side of it to say it's been checked this morning. That's fine. In my opinion, I would want you to do a pre-use check anyway. That's the point of it. It's better for us as a business to all be pre-use checking as opposed to it being happening once in the morning by whoever was in first. But I can see the reason why we have these. It applies for things like MEWPs as well, which go through a much more vigorous check-in scheme, normally required by law or by your insurer. Okay guys, thanks for watching. I hope you found that useful. If you liked it, hit the like button below. Don't forget to hit subscribe and the bell so you never miss another episode. It's really hard to get question of the day. Like, you know, question of the day. What ladders do you use? Don't really have a question for you to put in the comments. Don't really have a biggest tip other than watch this video and do the check. See you in the next video. Safe.